Hi everyone, and welcome to Uncovered Vintage Fashion Magazine Review. I'm Stephanie, and I've been collecting and selling vintage fashion magazines for over 20 years.
And I'm Morley. I'm a former copywriter and am now an award-winning playwright and screenwriter.
Together, we will examine some of your favorite vintage fashion magazines from the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
On Uncovered, we'll discuss some of the magazine's models, layouts, and did I mention the models?
And we'll also review some of the ads and articles that make these magazines such a great piece of pop culture history. So, fasten your seatbelts and let's get uncovered. Hi guys, and welcome to Uncovered Vintage Fashion Magazine Review Podcast, episode number 15.
Steph, I gotta tell you, I'm really excited that we're doing episode number 15, but I'm a little bit sad.
Why is that, Morley?
Well, because every week you get to talk about some of your favorite things, which of course are vintage fashion magazines. So maybe, can I have 10, 20 seconds to talk about some of my favorite things?
Absolutely, go for it.
All right. The Beatles, the Three Stooges, Harry Nilsson, Klaatu the Rock Band, Tony Esposito, Daryl Sittler, Elvis, Ted Healy, and you.
Oh,
So,
I'm glad I made it in that list. Thank you.
well, it's not necessarily the right order, but now I feel better. I got that off my chest.
Excellent. Okay.
So we're going to be talking about, again, September Vogue for 1981.
Yes, we're going to be reviewing Vogue magazine, September 1981.
So do you remember anything again about 1981 or September of 1981?
What can I say? Doesn't stand out. Not that memorable. Elementary school?
Yeah. So for myself, I would have been probably entering grade 11, I'm guessing, looking forward to my birthday, to my brother's birthday. We shared the same birthday in September.
Oh, that's right, September.
That's right.
Yes.
And also looking forward probably to my next road hockey game. But I can also tell you some other things that were going on at the time in terms of music. So some of the top songs of September of 1981 include Endless Love.
Ah,
Right?
starring our cover model, Brooke Shields.
That's right. That was the movie, and sung, of course, by Lionel Richie and Diana Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Queen of Hearts by Juice Newton. When I was younger, for some reason, I used to think that she was Olivia Newton-John's younger sister.
Oh, that's so funny.
Stop Dragging My Heart Around, right, by Tom Petty and Stevie Nicks. And Urgent by Foreigner. Some really
excellent.
great music. Excellent music. In terms of movies, there was Evil Dead with Bruce Campbell, of course, the whole Evil Dead franchise. Did you ever see Evil Dead?
Have not. Can't say that I have.
Yeah,
Have you?
I don't think I have. I'm not into horror, but I did see some of his other movies. I might have seen that one. I'm not sure. Das Boot, which, of course, was the German film and very, very highly acclaimed. And Mommy Dearest, which was the film about Joan Crawford, based on the book by her adopted daughter. Christina Crawford,
right.
Exactly. Also, in 1981, the Smurfs made their TV debut. Now, did you ever watch the Smurfs when you were younger?
A little, not so much. Not the Smurfs. I was a little too old for that.
Right. So what were some of your favorite cartoons when you were growing up?
So I would watch the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Scooby-Doo. How about you?
Well, so you like the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. So those are actually from the 60s, but they were showing them in reruns. So that's kind of neat, actually.
Yeah.
Right. For myself, I really like the superhero cartoons like Spider-Man.
Okay.
And I didn't mind Scooby-Doo, huh? I also like Bullwinkle. Now, Bullwinkle is one of my favorites because he was actually from the early 60s. Hello, class. Mr. Know-It-All here in today's lesson. And Barney, remember Barney from the 80s? Well, Barney was like, "Hey there, boys and girls." He almost sounds like an intelligent Bullwinkle. So Bullwinkle,
that's great.
So Bullwinkle, you have sort of like, "Let me show you how to pull a rabbit out of my head." And Barney is, "Hey there, kids. I love you." It's very, very similar voices. So
Do you know what else I liked was Fat Albert. Can you do Fat Albert? Oh, perfect. I'm applauding.
Thank you very much. In my previous life, I used to be an impersonator. So, but also there's a number of different things that happened in the 80s, and one of them we'll talk a little about a little bit later was that Sandra Day O'Connor was the first woman Supreme Court Justice, which is really amazing. Also, capital punishment was abolished in France. And lastly, Simon and Garfunkel reunited for a concert in Central Park. So, Steph, take it away.
Very cool. So, as I said, we're going to be reviewing Vogue magazine, September 1981. Our cover model is beautiful Brooke Shields, photographer Richard Avedon, hair by Louis Alonzo, makeup by Bonnie Mahler, and fashion by Oscar de la Renta. Now, Brooke is wearing a black velvet jacket, white silk blouse, and black satin bow, but what really captures your attention on this cover is this beautiful necklace. It's designed by Paloma Picasso for Tiffany, and it's a peridot surrounded by diamonds. So peridot is a green crystal.
Oh, okay.
It is absolutely stunning.
And Paloma Picasso, of course, is Pablo Picasso's daughter.
Correct. Yeah, and it really brings a lot to this cover. She has green eyes. It's a green stone. It's just a stunning cover. I wish you all could see it.
I didn't know.
You can
so
because
Brooke Shields has green eyes.
Yeah.
Who knew?
I think.
I think so too.
They look green to me.
They do, and of course, a lot of the print on the cover is in green as well.
Yes. So that brings us to the headlines. Thank you for that. So it's Vogue Special, the biggest fashion issue ever. The best of the best, clothes that give you more, 200 plus great looks, New York collections, and women across the USA talk fashion, fitness, changing images. Now, this is a September issue, traditionally the largest, most important issue of the year, and this one is no exception. It's huge. It's 610 pages long. How would you like to go through this magazine, front to back?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. May I?
Maybe later. So some of you may have heard of a documentary film that was called The September Issue. And this documentary is about the making of Vogue September 2007. You may remember it was the Sienna Miller cover, one of the Sienna Miller covers.
Now, Sienna is not only an actress, but also a color, right? Isn't it like a brown?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yes, I know my colors, folks.
Yeah. So anyone with an interest in fashion magazines must see this documentary. It's about, as I said, it's about the making of this issue, and there are some very, very tense moments between Anna Wintour and Grace Coddington. Lots of drama.
And who's Grace Coddington?
She was an editor. She's I don't know her exact title, but she's a fashion editor working under Anna Wintour, who is the editor-in-chief.
So this is a documentary?
It's a documentary about the making of this issue.
Very interesting.
And actually what happened was when the September issue came out, the actual magazine, it was super popular, so very sought after. I actually happen to have a copy in my eBay store, by the way.
Now, that's very interesting. Now, do you also have a copy of the documentary?
I do not.
Okay.
But I would like to.
Yeah, because you've talked about it a lot. I'm surprised you don't have one.
I'd love to watch it over and over with you.
Great.
Sound good?
As long as you can watch some Three Stooges with me, like Ants in the Pantry.
I do, and I have.
Not enough.
Well, not enough.
Okay.
That's true. But anyhow, so that's Vogue September 1981. Let's uncover it.
Great. So one of my favorite features of any Vogue magazine is the beauty Q&A. And this issue is no different. On page 162, the first question is, Steph, can you please read it?
Sure. Can the skin of the face be exercised, that is, toned and tightened, through massage or through any other kind of workout? Do masks and facials exercise skin?
Well, I've often been told I have great skin. And I use actual dumbbells on my skin, and I find it really works great. Next question.
Dumbbells, huh?
Yeah, well, I've been called worse.
Okay.
Let's go.
During the summer, the hair on my...
Okay.
Okay, let's start that part again.
It's okay. Go ahead. We're going to keep this in. During the summer,
the hair on my arms bleaches out to a blonde color. I like the look as it de-emphasizes the hairiness of my arms. Is there a safe way I can achieve the same effect with a chemical bleach during the rest of the year?
Okay, so first of all, you should have read your own question. Chemical bleach. Really? Here's a better suggestion. Mayonnaise. Okay, so mayonnaise is nice and light. It's white. And if you like, you can add a little coloring to it, maybe some pepper, and blend it in. And honestly, if you put that on your arms, it blends in perfectly. And you're looking at me like I'm nuts.
You are nuts.
Okay.
What?
All right. Let's look at the last question, actually,
Mayonnaise.
Steph. Yes, mayonnaise is good. And
my summer tan usually takes quite a long time to fade and lasts well into fall. That's great, except that it's hard to find makeup to match my skin tone while I'm losing my summer color. Do you have any suggestions?
Okay, I have a great
Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I have a great suggestion, and this happens to all of us. We have a summer tan. It starts to fade. But I guess if you're wearing makeup, what color do I use? Do I have to change it? This is what I recommend.
Mayonnaise?
No, mayonnaise not this time, but I like the way you're thinking. I like how you're going with this. Okay. It has to be sort of like one of those paint swatches. So what you do on your face is maybe at the top, it's a little bit darker. And as you go lowering your face, you go a little bit lighter. So eventually, you can take off those layers that don't match anymore. So you're always matching every single day. It doesn't matter how dark or how light your tan is, you're always matched. I think it's a great idea.
And a great plug for Benjamin Moore.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Paint swatches, guys.
I think it's a perfect thing to do in your face. And as your tan fades, wipe off the dark part on your face and then, it just blends in. I should have been like another makeup artist. What do you think? No? Okay.
Not this lifetime. Page 490 brings us to a layout and article. It's 14 pages called The New York Collections, A Season of Differences. And I'm going to go ahead and read the caption. Throughout the New York collections, unmistakable differences from day to night, from day to day, it's a season of contrasts, of options on every level. But in certain clothes, in the clothes on these 14 pages, there's something else. Underlying the news, the changes, a continuing beat that's instantly recognizable. A style that's instantly recognizable. Easygoing, more casual in an attitude, straightforward, unexcessive, whether in a series of total looks for day or in a unique, unobvious luxury that characterizes a different evening dressing. It's American style at its best. So we have models Rosemary McGrotha, Kelly Lebrock, Annette Stai, Kelly Emberg, Todd Irving, Michael Ives, and Matt Norklun.
Wait a second. You're missing someone.
Who?
The dog. The corgi.
Yes, we have a couple of beautiful dogs in this layout.
And they don't name them?
I don't know. I didn't notice any names, but look at this stunning picture of Rosemary McGrotha with this German Shepherd.
Okay, so let's come up with names yourself. So what would you name this German Shepherd?
Shep.
Shep, I like that. Okay. Shep's a good one. Okay. And for the corgi, I'll call it Beasley.
Adorable.
Okay, so we got extra models in there. So please make a note of that if you're keeping track at home.
And 2 dogs.
Yes.
Photography by Bill King. Hair by Harry King, John Sahag, and Sean Hoskins. Makeup by Bandy, Joey Mills, and Vincent Nasso. Fashion by Perry Ellis, Calvin Klein, Geoffrey Beene, and others. This is the New York collections, and these are American designers. So as Morley pointed out, the models are posed with dogs, and there is a very strong photo of Rosemary McGrotha on the 4th page with a German Shepherd. Absolutely gorgeous. We're looking at different textures in clothing: fur, silk and velvet, wool, rich fall colors, longer, roomier coats. Kelly Lebrock is shown in ornamental pajamas, which are absolutely stunning.
Ornamental pajamas? So these are not the sort of pajamas you'd normally see people wearing at Walmart, is what you're saying?
This looks more like a jumpsuit.
Right.
It's stunning. And it's got I want to say parachute pants.
I could almost see MC Hammer wearing this. What do you think?
Totally.
Right.
That's the look. Completely.
Can't touch this. Yeah.
As I said, the jackets are worn longer, large bows tied at the neck. And I just wanted to point out page 499. You're going to like this, Morley.
Good.
Kelly Lebrock, it's Kelly Emberg holding a cordless phone.
Really?
This is 1981. Do you
Where
see
is
that?
This?
Or is it a walkie-talkie?
I think it's a walkie-talkie.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a cordless phone.
No, because cordless phones didn't have antennas like that. They used to have these huge plastic antennas.
Okay, my
rubber
bad.
Antennas.
Because I was thinking 1981 is awfully early to see that kind of a prop.
Yeah, no, it looks like a walkie-talkie, but I could see why you thought it was a phone. It was the same shape, but yeah, no, phones didn't have metal antennas like that.
Yeah. So again, these are the top models of the day. Bill King really had a knack for bringing out their personalities. It's gorgeous looking layout. Everyone, you guys, you must see it to believe it.
And if you love animals, you'll like the dogs, especially Shep and Beasley.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, really cute.
So guys, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the hairdresser Harry King. He's been called the man who modernized women's hair. Now, I'm actually quoting from an article on a website called 1010 Park Place. So Harry got his start at age 15 working as an apprentice hairdresser. But by the time he was 24, he was working for the top salon in London.
Now, I want to go back to this apprentice hairdresser. Are these the sort of people that will kind of cut your hair, and if they made a mistake, it's like, he's just an apprentice. It doesn't matter.
No woman has said that ever.
Okay, just checking.
Ever.
Just checking.
Never. So Harry's done over 100 magazine covers for publications such as Cosmopolitan and Vogue. He's worked with photographers such as Scavullo, Avedon, and Deborah Turbeville, and models including Rosie Vella, Patty Hansen, and so many others. The list just goes on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not enough that he's a hair legend, he's also a fantastic photographer. He's photographed Mick Jagger, Andy Warhol, Raquel Welch, and others.
Who? Just kidding. Go on.
Maybe you've heard of some of those
Couple of them.
guys. So, above all, Harry King is a mensch. Harry, if you're listening, we have not forgotten the photo that you posted on Instagram of your homemade gefilte fish. We'd like to try some.
So for those of you who don't know what gefilte fish is, it is a Jewish delicacy. It's made of usually several different types of fish like whitefish, pike, and something else I forget. And it's very, very difficult to make. So, but Harry obviously makes it. It looks delicious.
Yeah.
And we'll bring the horseradish, Harry. You bring the fish. Steph, one of the things I've always told our listeners is that the thing that I really enjoy most about these vintage fashion magazines is because they are vintage. You will often find not just the models, but the ads and the articles. In this particular case, on page 532, there's a great article, and it's about Sandra Day O'Connor. And it's, again, she is the first woman nominated to the United States Supreme Court. She was nominated by Ronald Reagan at the time. She has a very, very prestigious career. She actually left the bench. She retired in 2006 to care for her ailing husband who had Alzheimer's. He passed away in 2009. But definitely an American icon. And where else are you going to find such interesting nuggets like this other than in Vogue and these other fashion magazines? So, in fact, this particular one, on the left-hand side on page 532, there's the article. And on the right-hand side, there's this gorgeous picture photographed especially for Vogue by Horst.
Yeah, and Horst is a legendary photographer. Very, very well known.
Great. Well, that's
beautiful black and white photo.
It really is stunning. I mean, where else would you find this? And Sandra Day O'Connor is still going strong today at the age of 90.
Good for her.
Good for her. So again, just wanted to bring everyone's attention to this wonderful article, and in some ways, a real true American hero.
Page 518 brings us to a layout entitled Casual, a New Slant. It's an 8-page color and black and white layout. The caption is, "This year, what stands out for casual dressing, any kind of dressing, something leather and something knitted, when it's unexpected, unique. On these 8 pages, leather and knitting at their most casual, most appealing." It's Casual, a New Slant. The models are Kim Charlton, Joan Severance, Annette Karlssen, Eric Milon.
Now, sorry, wasn't Joan Severance an actress?
Good memory, Morley. I think she appeared in several movies.
Yeah, I think she was in Bird on a Wire, Lethal Weapon, a whole bunch of movies. So I associate her more with being an actress than a model, but continue on.
Photography by Marco Glaviano, hair by John Sahag, makeup by Richard Adams, and fashion by Ralph Lauren, Liz Claiborne, Blassport, and others. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about the model Kim Charlton. So Kim moved to New York City in 1977 after winning a beauty contest, and her beautiful blonde looks propelled her to become one of the biggest models of the 70s and 80s. Her stunning, very recognizable face has graced the covers of Cosmopolitan, Harper's Bazaar, and many other publications and ad campaigns. So Kim grew up riding horses and is a huge animal advocate. She's now vice chair for an organization called Empowers Africa. Empowers Africa supports programs in the areas of human empowerment, wildlife conservation, and land protection in sub-Saharan Africa. A very, very worthwhile cause that we would encourage you all to check out.
Absolutely.
Right? So Kim Charlton is philanthropic as well as benevolent. I can tell you personally, she's offered her help to me and advice many times when I've had questions about this podcast or about photographers, hair, makeup.
So she's a friend of the show.
She is a friend of the show. A very cool lady. Thank you so much, Kim.
Thanks, Kim. On page 106, there's an article about what's news, what's coming, and they have it broken down to sections about collecting, and there's one about music by David Sargent. And the headline of this article is "The Real Roots of Mainstream Pop, Rap," in quotation marks, rap's rhythms. So this is a really interesting article. They talk about the origins of rap.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah. And they give reference to the Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight, which is generally considered to be the very first rap song ever. They also mention Blondie's Rapture. Remember that song?
Yeah, she raps. That was one of the earliest raps in music. Right,
except she was also criticized for some cultural appropriation. So apparently that it was really frowned upon, if you will. for kind of stealing that style and rhythm, I guess, if you will, from the urban community.
Well, clearly that was a time before Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, exactly. But what's really interesting in the article, I'm going to read a quote where the author, David Sargent, says, "It's hard to think of this music as more than a transitional phenomenon." And I remember that's what they said about rock and roll as well. Now, of course, I wasn't around at that time. But I remember that they were kind of transitioning from, I guess, swing and jazz eventually into blues to rock and roll. And they thought that rock and roll was a passing fad. At least they were hoping that. And I can see from this article, they're kind of thinking, yeah, it's not going to last. It's just sort of one of those, pop phenomenon. It's going to go away.
And so who is saying this? Is this a music critic?
This is David Sargent. So he's the author of this article, and he's the one who said that he can't believe it's going to, be anything other than a transitional type of music. Wow. So I thought that was very interesting. I hope he didn't put his money on that. But rap, of course, is here to stay, and I think it's great. I mean, I may not like every rap song, but I don't like every country song either, and I don't like every rock and roll song. But it's great, though, for the artists to be able to express themselves in whatever form it is, whether it's rap, whether it's classical music, whether it's jazz, calypso, it doesn't really matter. I love the fact that, especially in this particular case, the Black urban youths had to have an outlet to express themselves in rap, and I think that was terrific. So, great article. And again, where else are you going to find this?
Hello, friends. This is Michael J. Mayone, the host of Micro Break, the podcast for humans with the attention span of a goldfish. Join me each week as I share my thoughts, wisdom, and humor on a wide range of topics, all delivered unscripted and loosely edited. You never know what you're going to hear, but you can be sure it'll be honest. Streaming right now on your favorite podcast player.
And we're back. So you were just listening to a promo clip for another podcast called the Micro Break Podcast. And really it's for those, of course, as the promo said, with the attention span of a goldfish. It's hosted by our friend Michael J. Mayone. And we recently appeared on his show. This was regarding, I guess his show is about us.
I guess so.
Yeah, he was talking about Uncovered Vintage Fashion Magazine Review.
He specializes in vintage and
like older
retro.
Yeah, exactly. Retro, I guess, a great way
music,
to do it.
Entertainment,
exactly.
Other topics.
So we want to give a plug to Michael. If you only have 15 minutes to spare, listen to his podcast. Again, it's called Micro Break, and we hope to have him on our show sometime. So let's continue on, Steph.
So page 526 brings us to a 6-page color layout entitled Evenings the Most. I'll go ahead and read the caption here. Evenings the Most. It's a 6-page color layout. I'm going to go ahead and read the caption as always. Evenings the Most. Instead of ruffles of sequins, now new effects, extravagant versions of pants and tops, extravagant gestures. We have models Nancy DeWeer, Kelly Emberg, Carrie Nygren, photography by Denis Piel, hair by Stefan Lempier, makeup by Alberto Fava, and fashion by Bill Blass, Oscar de la Renta, and Mary McFadden. So what we're looking at are unique pants and tops as evening wear, black and gold, knickers, harem pants.
Knickers? What are you, from England? I don't say knickers here. It's
knickers,
called pants.
Knickers.
Pants.
So
trousers.
The models are made up, to me they look like dolls, very doll-like.
To me they look like King Tut's wife.
Kelly Emberg looks kind of like a rag doll.
I was going to say she looks like Wilma Flintstone. It kind of looks like the, I don't know, it's nice. It just doesn't it remind you of Wilma Flintstone at all?
So this is a red and black Navajo.
She's ignoring me. That's okay.
Pattern.
I'm used
worn
to it.
with black silk pants.
She'll keep talking.
It's a sweater.
She'll never listen to me.
I know.
Oh.
Wilma Flintstone.
You just caught that now?
Where do you even get that?
I just look like her. Not her.
Where do you even get that?
Kelly Emberg.
I know who you're talking about.
Okay,
she does not look like Wilma. No, Kelly, cover your ears. You do not look like Wilma Flintstone.
Okay, fine.
Jeez.
Everyone's a critic.
Honestly.
Go ahead.
So we're looking at very wide balloon leg pants. These photos are gorgeous.
This actually reminds me of MC Hammer because Totally.
Because she has
these balloon pants, you
like
call them?
Parachute pants.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just keep on thinking up new names at the time. And then she has like these leggings or tights. What don't we call them?
So to me, this looks, and correct me if I'm wrong, to me this looks like a sari almost. So it's
I'm
like
really sorry we brought this up.
She's wearing like
no,
a
it's
long
not a sari.
skirt
No,
with
this
pants
is,
underneath.
Okay, if anyone here is listening from India, we apologize profusely. It looks nothing like a sari. Again, I'm very sorry we brought this up. This to me looks almost more Egyptian, like King Tut with all the stripes.
It's stunning.
It really
stunning
is.
layout.
It's quite the fashion statement.
Yeah. And very different.
But on the other page, though, here we have the parachute pants. There we go. So I don't know who that is necessarily.
That's Nancy DeWeer.
Okay. So it looks like one stiff breeze and she's going to be blown away with those parachute pants. Wow, those are really, really big parachute pants, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Beautiful. So
they are.
This is early 80s. This is fall, and this is what they were wearing.
Right. So you got Wilma Flintstone, and you got another one. It almost looks like a painting, almost like a Van Gogh.
Yeah, it does. It does. So here we're looking at Carrie Nygren, and this is a very different outfit. It looks like it's lace.
Well, it looks like, which one are you looking at?
This is what we call knickers. So the pants end at the knee. Just below the knee. Yeah.
So can you go into a store here and say, do you have any knickers?
No, because it's not in style anymore.
Okay.
But I remember very well when it was.
Really? So you could actually go into a department store and say, where are your knicker department?
I don't know if they had an official knicker department, but yeah, they were all over.
Really?
This was in style. This was trending.
Knickers. Wow.
Yeah.
I've only heard that from England. Going to Marks and Spencer's and say, I'd like to see your knickers, please. Yeah. So interesting. And looks like on page 530, who's that?
That's also Carrie Nygren.
So it looks like she's wearing like a gold lame type of skirt.
It is, and gold and black, very much on trend.
It's very elegant, very stunning.
Yeah, this looks like a gold leather jacket.
Right.
Very beautiful, beautiful layout. Denis PL always brings it, and the models look stunning.
Oh, you're just saying that because he's French and you're from Montreal as well, so that's why. But all kidding aside,
we've got a lot in common.
Right. Well. Clearly you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
But it is a beautiful layout, and I wish our viewers, or our listeners, I should say, could view this. It really is quite stunning.
Well, they can. It's going to be in my eBay store, Great Mags.
And how's that spelled?
GR8MAGZ.
Now, wait a second. You're from Montreal, so what would be the Z in French? Da, 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 da,
do I remember?
Da,
Z.
Z. Maybe le Z.
Z.
Okay.
Z.
Okay. So continue on. So they can get it at your eBay store. So it's
available on eBay and Etsy. Mm-hmm. My store name is Great Mags. You can also see I post a lot of photos from these magazines on my Instagram page, also called Great Mags. And we also have uncovered_VFMR on Instagram. That's our podcast page.
And on Twitter, it's _VFMR, no underscore. And you can also reach us by email, which is uncoveredpodcast@yahoo.com. So I'm going to do something I've never done before, and I don't mean sound intelligent, but on page 306, there's a recipe. And why am I discussing recipes? Well, aside from the fact that Steph and I have been binge watching Hell's Kitchen, it's raw! There's a recipe for Oklahoma City pot roast with green sauce. I make green sauce all the time, but it usually means it's spoiled. But I want to read, I want to read some of the ingredients, which I thought were interesting. So, they say they call for 1 small clove of garlic bruised. Now, how do you bruise a garlic? Do you insult it?
Throw it against the wall.
That's going to be macerating it. It's just really interesting. They ask for a teaspoon of oil, but they don't ask what type of oil. I mean, is this fish oil they're asking for? I mean, it's just kind of interesting. They're also asking for part of a lemon. And in this particular case, they're asking for a lemon curl. So I thought that's really just a 2-inch curl of lemon peel. Normally you
mean the zest?
I would have assumed that. I didn't read the directions fully, but normally you would ask for a zest of lemon. So I thought that the recipe was quite interesting, and some of the terms that they're using are just a little almost archaic as well. They're asking for 4 to 6 medium potatoes, peeled, cut into eighths, parboiled 15 minutes. You don't really read about that too often. So parboiled basically means you boil it for a little bit and you take it out, and I think that you just let it rest because you want to continue the cooking process later on. By the way, before we finish up, so as I mentioned, Steph and I are really into Hell's Kitchen. So in case any of you are thinking of auditioning for Hell's Kitchen or you want to appear in any cooking show, here's a piece of advice. Number 1, learn how to cook risotto. And learn how to cook scallops. My God, you think this is like unbelievable.
And I mean, these are chefs.
These are executive chefs in most cases.
Like, come on, guys.
Like, you don't season your food. So here's another piece of advice.
We're on Team Ramsay here, guys.
Exactly.
Come on.
The last piece of advice is if you want to taste your food, do not stick your finger in it and then put it back in.
And for goodness sake, don't say everyone does that. Everyone does not do that.
No, only the people who want to leave
no
the
defense.
show.
That is indefensible.
It is. But anyway, we want to really thank our listeners again for for listening to this episode. We hope you enjoyed this incredible issue, September issue.
Yes.
Of Vogue, September 1981. Thank you for listening to Uncovered Vintage Fashion Magazine Review Podcast.
Uncovered was produced by Morley Schulman, with music by David Renta and logo design by Alan Lipman.
So remember, if you liked Uncovered, be sure to tell 2 friends about it.
And they'll tell 2 friends.
And so on, and so on, and so on.